Quick over 40s makeup routine. I've used minimal products very quickly. So let me remove my makeup. As a makeup artist, I'm going to show you the really quick and easy tips that create the biggest amount of difference when you're short of time with minimal products but want to create a really rested, bouncy, glowy, lifted look to your makeup. The first product we're going to be using is this called Plump and Glow. So this product plumps your skin. It makes your fine lines and wrinkles look more hydrated, which in turn make them look softer and more diffused. So hopefully you can see, now this has dried down, it's given my skin a very natural glow. This doesn't act like makeup, but what it does do is it makes fine lines and wrinkles just look a little bit plumper. And when, fine lines and wrinkles are on dry, dehydrated skin, they're going to look a lot more prominent than when they're on really kind of juicy, hydrated skin. And this gives you this beautiful, hydrated, luminous look to your skin. The next thing we're going to use is a full coverage foundation, which might sound a bit counterintuitive when we're doing a 60-second quick makeup look. But if we get a full coverage foundation with a glowy finish such as this one, this applied in just key areas and then blended out will give the look of a full face of foundation. I'm going to show you clever ways to apply a full coverage foundation in such a way that you can blend out. It makes your skin look perfected. I'm going to take what I call my magic foundation blending brush. But this is just excellent for when foundation is applied in a rush and you want to make it look absolutely seamless and natural. And this brush is so clever because it's densely packed bristles at the base, and then they taper up to very fine, barely there bristles at the very end. Can you see? You've got like 2 layers here. And what this does is, if you've applied your foundation too heavy, you can hold it more heavier to the skin like this, and it will give a really good blend very quickly. But alternatively, if you've applied quite a light coverage of foundation and you just want to further perfect your foundation and make it look seamless, then you can hold it lighter and just tickle your skin. I'm never without this makeup brush in my makeup kit. So let's go ahead and apply the foundation in the areas where we need it most. So it's always going to be in a corner of our eyes, around our nostrils where we get broken capillaries and redness, centre of the chin. Even though I don't need much coverage here, I'm looking to balance out the coverage so it looks even. A little bit in the middle of our forehead. And then if you have rosacea, you can do a few little dabs on your cheek. Now remember, because we've sprayed this first, this is going to help it all blend really seamlessly together, and this will work with any liquid or cream foundation. Okay, then we're going to get our buffing brush and we're simply going to buff this all over our face. And because we've applied it in the centre of our T-zone and we're buffing out, it means we're going to get most of the coverage around our T-zone where we need it most, and the least amount around the outer edges where typically we don't have so much skin imperfection. Now, having said that, if you do have hyperpigmentation or age spots, can you see how quickly that was? You can go back over with a little of the foundation and just, I've got a little mark here, and just pat over the top. Now, I have some dark circles that I further want to perfect, so I'm going to take my finger in the foundation and just dab over to create a little bit more coverage under my eye. And I will just pat down into my cheek to blend. Now, when I pat, I'm melting the foundation into my skin, because I want more coverage here. If I didn't need as much coverage, I would start to shear it out and feather it out. But you can see how just a little foundation around the areas that you need it most, buffed out with a brush like this, creates the most natural, beautiful look foundation. without having to wear a full face. The leftover on my fingertip, I'm going to wipe just under my brow bone, because if I perfect my brow bone, the actual discoloration along my eyes is actually going to start to look like I've got a little bit of eyeshadow on, which is really going to help the look of a subtle eye lift. Can you see this discoloration starts to make my socket look darker and deeper, and when I've perfected this brow bone, that in itself is going to look more lifted, and in turn it's going to give me a lovely little lift to my eye. At the end of this video, I'm going to take this off and you can time me to see if I can actually do this. So keep watching for that. Now the next product we're going to use is this palette here. Now the genius thing about this palette is that we can use it with a brush all over our face to create a sculpt, but we can also take a smaller brush and use these individual colours to create a beautiful eye look in a very natural way. So this palette is great for when you're in a rush and you just need minimal products. The easiest and quickest way to get a contour is to choose a brush that has a slight slant to it, because this will do a lot of the hard work for you. Now I'm going to use this slant and it's going to point up to the top of my ear, and I'm just going to place the brush gently just on my cheekbone here, so just towards the top of my ear, and I'm going to just do a quick swoosh down, and it's almost like I place a little bit of pressure at the base towards the top of my ear, and then I knock it down, and it's almost like little flicks. And what this does is it creates a really natural contour really quickly. Can you see how quick that was? This, where I haven't got it, looks quite flat, and then to this side I've got a quick cheekbone lift. Then I'm going to take this product and just tap it around the corners of my hairline, and then I will add a little bit more to my brush all over each of the colours in this palette, tap off, and then from the back of my jawline to my chin, I'm just going to sweep along and then blend down into my neck. Can you see how this is giving it a very subtle definition? Now, often under here we have lightness. It always just seems to be lighter than the rest of our skin. So just apply a little bit under there, like so. So easy, yet so natural. Okay, I'm going to focus on this side of my face so you can really start to see the difference. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush. This brush is perfect for quick eye looks because it's very fluffy at the tips, which means it doesn't pick up loads of eyeshadow, which means that it's very forgiving. So if you're not great at applying eyeshadow and you're just wishing to do a delicate wash of colour but that makes a big difference to your eyes, this is the perfect brush. It's also a good idea to have a microfiber cloth such as this one, you can get anywhere, just to make sure you're always cleaning your brush in between putting it in different shadows and shades, so that you always just apply the shadow that you wish. So now we're going to take our palette, and we could use any one of these mid-tone shades here. Okay, so let's use this shade here, but I could even mix it in all of them. I'm going to take this shade here, I'm going to tap off, and then I'm just going to swoosh this from the middle of my socket backwards and forwards like a little rainbow. So easy. Done. It's given me a subtle lift. I'm just going to marry up the colour in the corner there. I'm going to squeeze the brush, and what's left over on the brush I'm just going to run along my lower lash line just to create a smoky diffuse look, very natural. And then I'm going to dust off the shadow, so my brush is now clean, and I'm going to go in this pink shade here, and I'm going to apply this to my lid for a very pretty fresh look. And then I'm going to dust off So I can then use the same brush for blending, and I'm just going to go round in little swirly motions. Now, if I really wanted to really enhance my eye, I can take my pinky finger, put it in this light shade here, and just dab it under my brows, just for an extra lift. Now that was really easy and really quick. And then to finish this eye look, I'm going to take a smudge-proof mascara. It's a nice, this is lengthening but very natural. And the quickest way to apply mascara is to hold your mascara steady, don't move the wand, and simply blink onto it. So it means that you get less clogs, just a quicker application. Very natural but lengthening. I'm going to do the lower lashes because this is smudge proof. I don't have to worry about it smudging onto the lower lid. Let me quickly do this eye, and then I'm going to come back and show you the rest of the look, which is really, really pretty and adds a finishing touch. I've done both eyes. I have to say that this foundation is one of the nicest foundations I've ever used as a makeup artist on mature skin. It blends so beautifully. It really does soften the look of fine lines, of wrinkles. It's enough coverage to cover dark circles, rosacea, but it just feels so lightweight and it blends so quickly and so beautifully. This is a real hero product for me. I love it. And I think when it's used with these two combined, it just creates a really natural sculpted look. One of my favourite lip products to use when I'm in a rush is this lip product here. It's like a balm meets a serum meets a lipstick. It's incredible. It's got hyaluronic acid in the middle and then a sheer wash of colour around the edge. But it gives the looks a really plump, juicy look. And because it's sheer, it's unforgiving. So if you're in a rush, you don't have to worry about being overly precise. You can apply it without a mirror because it's sheer, so it just looks really natural, but gives your lips that added little oomph of extra that just makes you feel really pretty. So let me apply this. Now, best of all, this doubles up as cheek colour too. So I like to take clean ring finger, dab it into the lipstick bullet, and then I will find the edge of my iris, smile, and just where my cheekbone lifts the highest, on the edge of my iris, I will dab and then blend in circular motions up towards the top of my ear. This is going to give me a lovely lift to my cheekbones, can you see, as well as giving me a really beautiful yet natural flush of colour. Now the finishing touch, do you remember I said this can be used on top of your makeup as well? Now this isn't a makeup setting spray, but what it does do is it makes your makeup all merge together, look really natural. Fine lines and wrinkles look slightly blurred because of that boost of hydration, and it really will have people saying, oh my goodness, what are you doing for your skincare right now? Because your skin looks amazing. Give your skin a little waft to dry. Hopefully the camera's picking this up, but it does give your skin just the most beautiful shot of hydration that lasts throughout the day, makes your foundation look incredible. So let me remove my makeup. Okay, we ready? Start your timers. probably a bit over 60 seconds, but that was pretty quick. And I think I've achieved really pretty natural results. If you want to see any of the products I've used in this video, then there'll be links somewhere above or below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more of my beauty tips and tricks, comment beauty secrets, and I will send you my free 7-day beauty secrets course. Completely free. You'll love it. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.